Conventional wisdom would say this fiscal cliff situation would be terrible for the U.S. dollar, but in a weird situation, it's actually positive. As this drags on, you'd expect the dollar to rally. Joining us now is DJFX trader strategist Vincent Cignarella. Vince,
morning. The
fiscal cliff is here, and the U.S. economy is in dire straits, and yet this is dollar positive?
It's dollar positive. It's Marx Brothers movie, basically. The U.S. is at a fiscal cliff. If we fall off, Europe goes into a fiscal abyss, basically. So when you're comparing we might stand to lose 1.5% of GDP if we just postpone the cliff maybe out to 8 months and work on the so-called grand plan. That takes us down to 0.5% growth. That decline would push Europe into a solid recession, and it would be horrible for other currencies, so therefore the dollar rallies. Everyone goes to a safe haven.
It's interesting you mentioned safe havens, and it seems to me that if you look at the safe havens around the world, you have the U.S. dollar, you have the Japanese yen, you may even have, I guess lately, the Aussie and the CAD, if you believe the IMF. These are some pretty ugly safe havens. These are the Britney Spears of baggage when it comes to safe havens. Is there really anything that's a safe haven at this point?
Let's hope they're wearing underwear. There really is not a safe haven. When the global economies are very, very highly leveraged, and there's been an expansion of credit in the last 10 years around the world, whether it be printing money in the U.S., China real estate market perhaps, the Australian mining industry, just pick one, Spanish housing market. So everyone's borrowed to the hilt. And that money needs to be paid back. And the question is, do you do it slowly and intelligently over maybe a 10-year period? Or do you do it the way everyone seems to want to do it in 5 minutes, which is just going to crater economic growth? So safe haven, to me, I like Canada. It's kind of like the Swiss franc of North America. Their budget dynamics are a little better than everyone else. But is there a real safe haven? No, not really.
And then what's the worst? I mean, let's say we do go over the fiscal cliff and things are as dire as we think they are, and Europe looks like it may break, and the Middle East gets even worse. I mean, what is the thing that's just going to get annihilated in a rush to that maybe has run up a little bit further than it should?
I think the Australian dollar is in a precarious situation. I think if there's a slowdown in global growth in China specifically, that's a well overbought currency. The positive is the RBA has room to lower rates substantially versus what other central banks have, but that lowering of rates will remove what positive the currency had, which was the carry trade interest differential. So Aussie's got a long way to go.
Terrific. Well, that was Vincent Cignarella. Please make sure to read more of Vince's work on DJFX Trader and WSJ.com.